Welcome to the Cosplay Showcase for Tora-Connect 2021. I'm Sally, and I'm dressed as Makuro from Yu Yu Hakusho.
I'm Ian, and I am dressed as the original Black Mage from Final Fantasy.
And we're here to look at everything that got sent in, talk a little about what they made or what they're wearing, and talk about cosplay in general.
Yep, because here at Tora-Connect, which, our online version of Tora-Con, we do love cosplayers. And because this is a virtual convention right now, we're actually quite saddened we can't see cosplays in person. But that's why we did this cosplay showcase. Alright, so we can still see some awesome costumes, and all of you watching from home can still see some fun costumes as well.
Yeah, it's always such a huge part of what we do, whether it's with the events formally or just people on the con floor. It's such a great way for people to connect with each other and make good memories, take great photos. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to bring at least a little bit of it to the online experience.
Yep.
So the first entry that we have here is Zaylia Wing cosplay as Autumn Riko Sakurachi. I'm sorry to the Love Live people out there. From Love Live Sunshine, and the photography is by L Dragon Photography.
Yep.
So, as you can probably tell by me butchering the name, I don't actually watch Love Live myself. I don't interact with any of the media, but the girls from it are always so cute, and all of their outfits are so pretty. I really love the shape of all of them, and it looks like she has like a great petticoat too that's puffing out the skirt, and so this is just such a really wonderful cosplay. I love to look at these. And the setting is really nice too. Mm-hmm. The woods background with like the red color all matches very nicely, and it just makes it pop even more.
Yeah, it's a really nice like fall autumn color scheme there. I really especially like how elaborate the outfit is too. It's like you, I know nothing about Love Live at all, period. But I have seen images online, and I'm always interested in how elaborate their outfits are, their stage costumes. So it's like really neat to see somebody pull this off like this. Yeah, and that's about all I really can say.
Yeah, I also really like the way that they did these photos. Like, there was a nice mix of the landscape and portrait versions, and even something as like simple as sitting on a bench is just something visually interesting. Like it's something like a little bit different that you won't see in just like an average picture of someone like standing in a con hall or something like that.
Just somebody just standing straight, not really posing a whole lot. Yeah, especially like that. I mean, you don't see many environmental shots like this unless they're done by more professional photographers, from what I've seen in the past.
Yeah, even when you guys are at Tora-Con in person again, hopefully, there's some great locations on campus that you can find like this if the weather's nice. Like, there's a little bit of a woods path out over here near this building. And there's all sorts of hills and trees that you can go to find like a nice backdrop for your pictures.
Yeah, there's like a Zen garden over near one of the buildings, which is also nice. And it's really funny. Today of all days, it's actually like nice and sunny outside. I think when I came in, it was in the 50s. It might be
it was
60s.
So warm. I was even a little bit warm in this.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
So yeah, thank you to Zaylia Wing Cosplay again for sending this in, and you can find her as Zaylia Wing Cosplay on Facebook, and you can also find L Dragon Photography on Facebook. This one was a lot of fun. I didn't really expect to get any partner cosplays, so when I opened this was like a really nice delight. Yeah. I always love seeing the photos of people doing this sort of stuff together.
Yeah, this was a surprise when they contacted us about this, wanting to do I don't even know if this counts as a couples, but more of a duo, just from the
depends on who you ask.
Yeah,
depends on who you ask.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
So yeah, this is Lord's Explosion Murder as Shizuo and Izaya from Durarara, and the photography is by Shinra.
Now this is a show that I've seen only once, but I'm very fairly familiar with the characters here.
Yeah, they're really over-the-top, iconic, very energetic characters, and I like the poses that they chose really showed that, where even if it's them sitting next to each other, their facial expressions are kind of like frustrated / amused with each other.
Really like the characters in the show.
Yeah, and even when they did the back-to-back, it's got like a little bit of personality with either like the glasses or the arms up or something like that.
Yeah, and that's another thing, like when you're doing cosplays like this, where if you've got the simple costumes, like you have the bartending suit, and then the other guy's just has the fur
the
jacket, and like a regular black pants, black shirt. That's not a very impressive outfit, like looking at it. But what helps sell it is like posture, posing, like really put the feeling into it. Into like becoming the character here, and you can tell in these images that's what they did here.
Yeah, it's got a great energy, and this one too is a very different location, but also a great choice because Tora has so much of like the cityscape involved. So this is like a nice, like small industrial style place to take a picture, and I especially like the way that it worked out in the photo of having the fist up.
Yeah, in the middle of the...
Because of all the diagonal lines coming together in the middle, it really, really, like, emphasizes the energy of that photo.
It really sells the shot there. And if you watched the show before, it does take place in a city in Japan, Ikebukuro, right?
I don't remember.
Okay. Yeah, it is Ikebukuro. And... It has that feel that if you're just on the outskirts of the city, which you could easily picture these two like meeting up in like under an overpass or something, and that's exactly what this is. You can see them meeting up there and just getting into a fight because they'll annoy each other just by standing next to each other, just by being there.
Yeah, so like all the like little bits of this really like make the photos a lot of fun, and I think that's like a great thing about taking photos together is it doesn't have to be the like most professional equipment or complicated lighting or even the most intricate outfit for it to be like a really fun, great photo shoot. Sometimes all you really need is to like have fun with the characters, like really just selling their personalities, and doing it as a duo is always like a little bit of a help, like being able to play off of each other. So
I mean, and
this is what I love about like seeing people around like during the con usually.
Yeah, same here. It's just like, I like seeing professional photos, but I also just like seeing people take what's around them and just try and figure out how to create a scene. That's also why I like the previous ones where they were just with the Azalea Wing cosplay in the woods. And it's like perfect fall. It matched all the colors. It was some really nice, well framed shots for that, similar to this one too.
Yeah. So I don't think we had any. Yeah, we didn't have any social media for Lord's Explosion Murder, but love your name and hope to see you at the next Tora-Con that's in person.
Yep.
This is Alley Cat 1236 as Star Guardian Misfortune from League of Legends, and the photography was done by Kaylee Payne. I've seen photos of this character around a lot, and occasionally I'll see someone at a con, but I can't say I'm that familiar with League.
Yeah, not here either, but I have seen this character before, and I can't speak much to the series at all, but as far as the outfit goes, it's I believe it's similar. It's because it's a video game. They usually have the very elaborate costumes and props that go with it, and you can definitely see that in these photos here.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to translate the exact costume, like whether it be like a weird shape or a body model or something like that, or even just how intricate it is, or if it has like something special that really only exists in like video games and animation world. But
yeah, that makes it hard to translate into real life. Which, for example, like
this outfit has like a lot of movement and energy, which I think really captures the reference photo that we have here, where it has like all of the flowing pieces. So I think that really got matched so well.
I think so too, and I do. And in this one too, I also like the poses too. Like I you know, in some of these shots, especially the widespread one where she's got the two weapons pointing like out to the sides. That's a really nice full frame shot right there. Captures probably one of the ending poses that they do in the game, I think. I'm assuming, but it just looks really cool that way.
Yeah, the action poses have a lot of drama and direction. So that one, like, it's very horizontal. Even with the background too, there's a lot of lines like leading into her, or there's just like horizontal lines that go along with the pose going out to either side. And the same thing happens with the one like on the bottom right, where the one is pointed kind of towards the camera, and so it leads back into her. And also going down the stairs, like it's a nice way to have like the flowy bits in the wind.
Yeah, and it helps to draw your eye to it. Not to say that there's anything wrong with just regular profile pictures, but that's also why we also like seeing the dynamic shots, because it helps capture that energy that we like seeing from cosplayers, especially in person too. You know, when you get that really awesome shot from the cosplayer you're asking for a photographer when you're asking for a photo from, I mean.
Yeah, it's nice to see a little bit of variety, because sometimes you want to see it just straight on, be able to like admire the details, or like look at a little bit about how it was made or something, or just be able to see every bit of it. And then sometimes those action shots are like really punchy and like get across the energy of the character.
Yeah. All right. Don't think we should spend too much longer on this person, unfortunately. We do have others to get to.
Yeah. I'm looking at my list right here, and I do not think this one had any social media either, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one did not.
Okay.
But I also hope to see you next time, Tora-Con's in person. This one is Noah Taco as Link from Legend of Zelda, specifically A Link Between Worlds. And the photography done was Laura Cameoni. Sorry,
yeah.
That's probably incorrect.
I apologize for that, but we'll do our best here.
So yeah, this is classic.
It's very much an iconic video game figure. If you're not familiar with Link from the Legend of Zelda games, be very surprised.
Yeah, each one has a little bit of its own twist to it, but for the most part, like the tunic and the hat,
the green tunic
with
hat.
the blonde hair is like a staple for each game.
Yep. Yeah, and here it shows this, and it's very much a simple costume. Yes, it does come across as like a period piece, similar to what you would find at a Renaissance festival or something, but it's not like we said with the previous one for Durara. Sometimes simple ones are really good, especially if you can use it to highlight certain things you want to show off. Like, for example, I really like the shot where he's got the shield pointed up right in your face there.
Yeah, that's like really bright and detailed.
Yeah, that just draws attention to the shield, and it's like really cool to how you can just focus on that. But the rest of it's like the way it's framed is also really neat too. Kind of like you're right there in the middle of like fighting Link. Scary thought, but yeah.
Yeah, I also really love the colors of this. Link, like, originally was made on like very low resolution games and stuff, so the costume became very simple because of that, but also the colors were very limited, so it was always like very bright and contrasted, which looks great on a screen, but sometimes like it's a little bit too much, or you can't find the exact right colors in real life.
Yeah.
So I really like the greens and browns that this person chose that really mesh well together. The green is like a nice foresty tone, and so all of the very natural browns go very well with it. And then the brightest part on the hat really makes it pop, so it brings attention to the face, which is really nice. It's a nice effect. So that was like a lot of great choices all around for the entire outfit.
Yeah, and what I also especially like about these photos is that these are taken obviously during winter because, and during during one of the more recent snowfalls because there's lots of snow on the ground too, and I think that really adds to the scene as well for a lot of this. I think that's really cool too.
Oh yeah, that's really nice for being able to see, like, especially like all of the green parts of the costume. Because normally, if you were doing it in a field or something, you might lose a bit of it.
Exactly, yeah, because you would blend in too much. But here with the snow, it's like it's a really nice contrast with everything.
Yeah, that was a really great choice. And there's also a nice mix of poses with this one here between like the shield pose and even the framing with the holding up the sword. I think that's really nice and dramatic because like even though you only see from this part up of the cosplayer, the nice diagonal line with the arm as well as the sword being parallel with the trees is really dramatic. Like it looks like it should be a shot from the game or something.
Yeah, no, I especially do like that part.
I think this is our third one in a row that didn't have social media, unfortunately. They all kind of ended up in a row. Yeah, there's no social media for this one either. I always love to see linked cosplayers at cons. They're usually a lot of fun. They like to do really funny things, and when you get a bunch of them together, it's a lot of great shenanigans.
Yeah, it's really awesome too. So hopefully we can see you in person at some point too.
This one was a lot of fun. This is Tiny Tribble as Ghiaccio from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Ventorio, or Golden Wind if you watch the anime. And the facial expressions here are great. Like, this person clearly took all the photos themselves and really focused on Ghiaccio's really weird, extreme facial expressions. This is the first one where I'm, like, very familiar with what the character is, so I feel like anyone who's seen it or read it will, like, really connect with that. And it also looks clearly like they spent a lot of time doing the makeup with getting the interesting contour lines that are in JoJo in there. And so I like that they chose to feature a lot of the thing that they spent a lot of time on.
Yeah, it really does show. And I'm not, I know all of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but you have to actually truly watch the anime or read any of the manga. So I don't know who this character is, but just like from the reference photo, it's like I can immediately picture like sort of what this cosplayer is trying to get across by playing as this character. You know, how weird and strange he is, and the close-up frames, like you said, just right on the face there with the makeup. It's really cool there.
Yeah, I also really like that pose with the hand up next to the face. It's a nice attention grabber, and sometimes like a photo that's just from the shoulders up might look a little bit empty, and that really helps set it apart, where the face is a little bit off-center and there's the hand kind of like as an accent.
Yeah, it's another element to focus on to help balance it out in that picture, so it's quite nice there.
Yeah. I also think this wig is a really nice choice in terms of trying to match something from a anime or manga in real life. Sometimes the hair just doesn't look like or doesn't act like hair should.
Yeah. And
so the big curls are a really nice translation of the weird swirls on his head.
Yeah, I was really impressed when I saw that, because it's like, you know, looking at the reference photo and then matching it to the wig, it's like a lot of effort was definitely put into there, and like I really did like how that went. Yeah,
that was a really, really nice choice.
Yeah, I know it's a little bit hard to see on your computer screens through our stream, but you should be able to get some close-ups in another manner at some point.
Yeah, we're going to be putting up all of the photos that you see here, as well as their social media handles on our website at some point, so definitely be sure to look out for some posts about that so that you can see these photos again for as long as you like and be able to follow them on social media.
Yeah.
All right, so anything else about Ghiaccio?
Oh, you covered, you're the one who's more familiar with it, so you covered a lot of what I don't know about this character,
right.
What I thought was cool though.
And the social media we had for this person is a TikTok handle. It is sir_1_lime, and that's one spelled out ONE. So sir_1_lime. Now we have, again, I'm sorry, I'm not exactly sure how you want your name to be pronounced. Sunai Lee as male MC Hawk from Dragon Age 2. So I love to see the different interpretations of any kind of gender bend cosplay. It's a really interesting and unique challenge from character to character, depending on the shapes that were used, or like even something as simple as a male presenting character being shirtless and you want to do a gender bend, so you have to come up with something completely on your own. Or you have to translate it the other direction where there's something like inherently like impossible to translate from one to the other directly. So it takes a lot of creative thinking to do any kind of cosplay like this, and I love to see whatever people choose to do because it's always a little bit unique.
Yeah. And while I may not know much about the Dragon Age franchise, I do know that for their costumes, it's like the outfits are very elaborate, and they try to be as true to what people would have worn during the Middle Ages or during those time periods. And it's like, and it really shows in the parts that they chose for the game, but it also shows in the actual costume itself too. And one part, I know you talked about how you can adjust the costume to fit your own body type. And it's very much apparent here. It's like not everybody is built like a main character in a video game.
Most people are not. Usually there's at least a little bit of something that's absolutely not anatomically correct. Even if it's just a little exaggeration of like how long their torso is, or the clothing like sitting really snugly on someone. There's always a little bit of something that you gotta fix from one to the other.
Yeah. And that's and for video game characters, it's like really tough to get that translation. But here you can actually see, like, I really like what they've done here, like, because you can really see what you got the reference photo, yes, but then you got the actual cosplay, the armor you made, and it's like you really did it to fit your own body proportions, and it looks like it could have come right from the game. Like, it looks like you could have been the main character with your body type, and like I really like that.
Yeah, it's a really nice comparison.
Yeah.
Like, all of the pieces are there, but they've been adjusted slightly to fit the real world.
Yeah.
I love all the textures that were used too. That's usually like something that video games like to focus on a lot. And the contrast between the really shiny breastplate and the fur that they chose, the colors in the game and on this cosplay are pretty similar. So those textures really set them apart, so you can really see one versus the other. Yeah, I really do like that, especially for the armor where it's got the weathering done to it, and that's like, it looks like it's got the aged appearance that it would have in the video game, and that's really fun too. Yeah, weathering is always very nice to see on people's armor.
Yeah, that's why
gives it a bit of character.
It's more character, more accuracy. It's just also more interesting, like you said, more character, and that's why I do like the close-ups there, of where you can see the gauntlet and more of the chest plate in there, and it's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's also nice to see what they do with their hands, because sometimes it's something people really just don't know what to do when they're taking a photo. So, like, having something like that in mind is always great for if you're taking haul shots or if you're doing a photo shoot. Like, there's very specific poses that they have that they could just use over and over again in different poses, and it would look a little different from different angles.
Yeah. One thing I also do notice is, like, I like the little fur cape too on there. That looks pretty interesting too. I have no idea what would have gone into making that, but that does also look interesting as well. Yeah.
Fur's kind of hard to work with, so anytime I see it, I have a lot of respect. It's hard to work with. It's messy.
Like, even if you get it commissioned or purchase it from somebody, it's still
it still sheds a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, right. We also have a handle for this person. It is Siniley with a dot between the S and O, so s.oniley on Instagram.
Cool. And be sure to check this person out.
Yeah. This was a lot of fun. This is Dance Trap as the marionette from Five Nights at Freddy's. So this is an interesting one because it's not even a human-shaped thing in the first place. Like, there's translation problems when it comes to any anime or video game or anything with the models, but this one was coming from an actual doll, so...
Yeah, this is a more extreme version of that. And, this was actually, when I was looking at that, it's like, I'm not... I've never played a Five Nights at Freddy game, so I didn't actually recognize the character, but I was just going by the reference image, and I thought, it's like, wow, this is actually a pretty interesting interpretation. Very good one, too, for it. Going from something like the doll to a person.
Yeah, I like the emphasis and repetition of the stripes. Like, you could probably, with the lower half, have just done, like, black pants or something, but this is a really interesting choice to make where it takes something from somewhere else and reuses it.
Yeah.
So it's a bit more visual interest in, like, the lower half than you would really expect. So that's really cool. This makeup is also great. I do a lot of makeup myself, and full face paint is always really difficult. Like, it's kind of deceptively so, because you're gonna see every little mistake, especially when it's a color like white, so you're gonna see every little shadow and fingerprint or something, and this is really smooth. So props for that. It takes a lot of patience.
Yeah, that's
care.
Yeah, that's another thing I was really impressed by, especially with the close-up shots where you can see the, like, you can see the how much care was taken to put on the to apply the makeup without leaving any trace of your fingerprints, any extra lines from whatever. I think you used
from the other accents and stuff.
Yeah,
like
and
if you mess up one color on top of white, it's over.
Yeah.
But yeah, the makeup was actually a really nice, interesting choice. You probably could have gone with a mask or something too, but I really love the way that the makeup lets you play around with the facial expressions. So even though I don't really know much about this character, I can tell they're like a playful, mischievous kind of personality.
Right, yeah, and that really does play through like this, especially with, which I suppose is why people do use makeup versus wearing masks in cases like this, yeah.
Yeah, and the wig is also a really nice choice for a character that has no hair. It's sometimes hard to choose a hairstyle when you have to like go from scratch, and I like that with the hood on, the bangs have like a nice framing of the face, and they're just a little bit interesting, but not so distracting as it takes away from the makeup or something. So it's a really nice balance and a great choice.
Yeah, no, it really is. I do like it. And it's also a very simple cosplay in general, but there's a lot of a lot of effort went into it because it is deceptively simple. Between the makeup, you know, the choice in adding the stripes for the bottom half, and then the wig, like these are all elements that weren't part of the original character from the video game. It looks like. But you know, and individually they may seem simple, but taking it all together as a whole, it does add just that little bit more to it, especially with your own take on what you think they could be in real life.
Yeah, and even with the ability to coordinate that kind of thing, it takes a lot of talent to be able to think about that kind of thing. And I'm sure that anyone that's familiar with this character would instantly recognize the cosplay. So it really says something to be able to take something like that, put it on yourself, and have it be able to be recognized like that.
Yep. All right.
Unfortunately, we did not have a working social media handle for this person either.
Okay. Well, if you're watching, please email the cosplay contest email with your social media handle.
Yeah, I tried to look at it earlier today, and unfortunately, it did not work. So.
Yeah.
This is a lot of fun. This is Madeline Lee doing Dare from Dance Central, and the photography is by Robert Huang.
Yeah, this is also another video game character. One that I have not seen in several years, actually. This was part of the whole dance craze things when both PlayStation and Xbox had their like body tracking cameras after DDR went away.
Yeah, I can't say I ever played Dance Central, but I kind of remember this character with like the very bright, fun colors, and the sunglasses are pretty iconic.
Yeah, I do believe like when this game first came out, it was very popular in the convention game rooms. So
see, that's something I didn't do that often. So
yeah, fair enough. But yeah, it is definitely a fun character design overall. It's very simple, but it's got a lot of, like you said, a lot of colors that pop and are very bright, and it's really cool. And what I like here, especially is like, because it's Dance Central, it's just people dancing wherever. These are all like street shots for the most part, and this is definitely something I believe, if I remember correctly, there were some scenes where it took place out on the street. And you can easily picture the character just like dancing out there.
Yeah,
out there in the real world.
I really like that choice. No matter where they are, it's always like very bright and there's a lot of lights going on, and you can see that's exactly the case with the place that they chose to take these photos. Just with the street lights and stuff alone, it gives a bit of that same vibe. So, like, even if the colors or something weren't, even if you told me that there was no dancing in the street or something,
yeah,
it's like a very fitting sort of place to take those photos.
It would still fit with the character, just what you imagine and how it's framed, and I do like how like these shots, like they're pretty much the dance moves from the game if I remember right, and it's like really cool, you know.
Yeah, I like the way that the colors also match throughout the outfit. That's really nice. Like it has this really bright yellow on the dress, and then the boots are like a perfect match.
Yo.
That's just so satisfying.
Oh yeah, it really is. You know.
I also like the detail shot of the little pocket bracelet.
Yeah,
that's not something I see ever.
No, it took me a little bit to look at that. It's like I didn't realize what that was pointing to, and then until after like I took a second or third look at it, and I thought that was also really cool too.
Yeah, it's really frustrating sometimes when like you don't have anywhere to put anything in a cosplay. So just seeing that as a special detail.
Yep.
Like a lot of times people might add like a belt or a leg thing or something, like those pouches. But the wrist one is really cute. I love that.
Yeah, it's not one you see often, and it fits with this outfit too.
Yeah.
Because you don't, as a dancer, typically you don't want to be encumbered with stuff on your legs.
Yeah, even doing these poses, you can see like the amount of movement that this person has. Like something might be annoying if it was around the waist, or even if the dress had pockets. Like once you like move your legs, stuff might fall out or something.
Yeah, but with the small pouch on your wrist, it's not as much of a danger there. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that. That's a great little detail, and I'd love to do that for my cosplays.
Yeah.
At a con.
Now you got a good idea there.
It looks like the perfect size for like a hotel key.
Yes, or some spare change there.
Just the essentials.
Yep. So thank you for this idea, Madeline.
This person's Instagram is silent crescendo, but the T in silent is a 7 and the O in crescendo is a 0. So silent with a 7, crescendo with a 0.
Okay.
This is Legendary Cosplay Night as Ryusou Gold from Kishiryu Sentai Ryusoulger.
Yeah. Pretty close. Yeah. So
enough that someone would know what I'm saying.
Yep. So this is a cosplay that's based off of one of many Super Sentai from Japan. I have not kept up with it in the last couple years, so I don't remember which generation this one is from. But this is one of the so Super Sentai from Japan is their special effects shows, like the tokusatsu. Over here we call it Power Rangers.
Yeah.
the guys wearing spandex suits fighting giant monsters and whatnot. So, and this is from one of the most recent series. I don't know which one it is, but that's where this is from. And and this guy being Ryuso Gold means he's one of like the. I'm assuming here. I'm guessing he's one of like the special 6 member of the team.
Oh yeah.
Usually they're the more powerful ones with the crazy weapons and stuff. Usually more elaborate outfits, which
the outfit looks elaborate. That's what I was gonna say.
Tell just from the reference photo here. So yeah, and that's a pretty good interpretation for it too. I mean.
Yeah, it's a pretty big challenge to take on. Like, there's so much going on. You can tell it was done by someone who does this for a living and gets paid to do it. So, even with the helmet shape, too, that's not, like, a common shape that you see.
No.
So, it'd be hard to either come up with or find patterns for it online.
Exactly, yeah. You can definitely tell that this looks like it was something that they patterned themselves and to get right, you know. And that's what's tough too, and especially when it comes to these type of costumes where they're mostly spandex. There's not a whole lot of things you can do with it, but with this particular character, there is a lot more going on. He's got the chest piece, the shoulders, and the more elaborate helmet, and it's just like a lot going on here. But it's looking really good here.
Yeah, it definitely takes a lot of patience to build armor. I'm someone who primarily sews, and one of the things I like about that is it's pretty forgiving. Like, you can always make a second seam if you make something a little bit too big, or something like that. But armor and stuff is a lot less forgiving.
Yeah. Even if you're working with something like foam, which is very flexible, once you cut it wrong, whether it's too big or too small, you pretty much have to start over. And you can tell when this person was making it, like, it fits really well. Like, sure, some parts could use a bit tweaking, but that's just how cosplay goes. And in general, it's like he did a really good job. You can tell like he spent time looking at the reference photos and measuring out and making sure he cut everything to the proper size to get it to fit right.
The helmet fits really well too. It's a really nice size.
Yeah,
like
really
with the shoulder pads, it could look a little bit small. Or in general, it's very easy to make a helmet look like really huge on you. So this worked out really nicely. I really like the balance that they have of the size of the helmet and the shoulder pads. Like, it's a really nice in between. It feels like the exact size it's supposed to be.
Exactly, yeah. And you know, I know normally if you get like a scenic shot, it's a little bit harder to tell, but with these profile shots where they're just standing straight on, it's a lot easier to tell the proportions and how well everything is fitting, you know. For all of it.
Yeah, and some of these are just like really straightforward poses and stuff, so that's what I was kind of referencing earlier, where sometimes you really just want to see the detail and all of that. Like, you can tell all of the work and thought that they put into each piece of this, so
yeah,
I really like that we're able to see it in these photos.
Yep.
Alright. We also did not have any social media for this person, but I do remember you being at a lot of cons in the area because you're the person who really likes the tokusatsu stuff.
Yeah,
so I'm excited to see you back at our events again.
Yeah, same here.
This one was really cute. This one, like, warmed my heart a little bit. This is Iris as Ryoma Echizen from Prince of Tennis. And I love your cat. Your cat's very soft. And these are just these are really sweet.
Yeah, and this is another very simple cosplay. I mean, it's Prince of Tennis. He's got the warm-up jacket, his cap, and not much else to it with the tennis outfit. You know, in this case, Ryoma does have the cat in the picture, and I really like the inclusion of that too.
Yeah, it's like a really straightforward outfit either way. So it just makes it really special and sweet. And I like the way that this was done, where you have a few different sort of photos with it, where there's the one long shot where you can see the whole outfit, but like the cat's a little small. And then there's kind of the medium one, and then the close-up of the cat.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it's a really nice progression to see all of these together.
Yeah, and you know, it's just and also you can tell like this is not a cosplay they made so much as it what it looks like to me anyways, like outfit they found in their closet most likely, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, that's part of the fun of being a cosplayer.
Yeah, those are a lot of fun. I love to see those too. Sometimes it's just a day when you want a comfortable costume, and this looks like the most comfortable you could be on a nice sunny day.
Yeah, exactly. And it does look like a sunny day in the one photo, so I think it's perfect.
Yeah, this is really just heartwarming. I love seeing stuff like this.
Yeah, and it's nice to see simple outfits too. So don't be afraid of just coming up with something like this. You know?
Yeah, especially if you're like kind of stressed or something at a con. Just do a whole day where you're in a comfy cosplay. It will let you enjoy a lot of stuff that you might have to miss out on otherwise because you're like fixing something or
you're trying to run to a photo shoot.
Yeah.
You can't make this one panel that you really want to go to. Like,
yeah, it doesn't have to be all glamorous.
No.
That's why I love when there's like a showcase thing or there's a walk-on sort of category of a contest because you get to see like the fun little things like this alongside the really like intricately crafted stuff.
Yeah. I mean, when we did the in-person Tora-Con, we always had the category of walk-ons. You know, it was for people who didn't make their costumes, people who didn't want to be in the competition or anything. I always like seeing that because sometimes those cosplays are really fun.
Yeah, it's just for the fun of it.
You know, and they had a good time too, and I liked seeing those alongside the people who entered the competition portion.
Yeah. This person's Instagram is Bottled Salt. Thank you for having an easy Instagram for me, but also that's a great name. So Bottled Salt on Instagram.
That is interesting. Very simple.
Alright, this is Frank Leterio as Goku from Dragon Ball Z.
Now, this is very much...
It's one we all know.
It's one that, like Zelda, every anime fan should be familiar with in some fashion. You know?
Yeah, even if it's just seeing them around at a con, like, this is... I'm glad we got a few that are just, like, very iconic, things you see at every convention.
Right.
Like, it makes you feel like you're actually at the con.
I know, right? Because, like, I was afraid when we did this, we would get a bunch of, like, off-the-wall stuff, like, similar to the Love Live or...
Yeah, that stuff's fun, but part of the great thing about walking around, like, the vendor's room or something is, like, seeing 3 different Gokus over there having a good time.
Exactly, or like, a group of Link just walking down the hall.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I like about this costume, too. It's just, like... It's a very simple It's a very simple costume, a very simple outfit. You know, it's just a fighting gi, karate gi, blue shirt, and boots and the wig, and it's really the type of outfit similar to the Etchison, the Princess Tennis one, to just wander around a con with, so that you don't get if you just want to be relaxed. Pretty much.
Yeah, this also looks like a pretty comfortable wig, which is nice, because there's like a sliding scale of Dragon Ball wigs where on one end they're like really crunchy or itchy or something, and on the other end you have like the huge ones, but it's huge, so you're bouncing on your head, constantly worrying about keeping it on or something.
Yeah, it's going to fall off, or it's digging into your head from how you have it pinned to your head. And this looks really cool this way, too, you know.
Yeah, so this is like a very comfortable medium.
Yeah, and you know, and what I do like about these shots is just like just look really comfortable compared to so many other people, and relaxed too. Which it's like, you know, in these stressful times, that's very important.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta go out and have a good time. Just dress up to dress up. I do not think we had. No, we did not have social media for this person either.
Okay. All right.
Alright, this is Rose Roberts as female Naruto Uchiha Lolita Kimono from Naruto. These are so much fun. I was kind of saying before, I love to see the way that people interpret something from a game or from an anime or changing the gender or something, but seeing like a complete departure from the regular outfit and trying to translate it into something else is like really interesting, and I always love to see how far you can go but still make it recognizable. Like, you could tell me nothing about this and I would immediately know it's Naruto.
Yeah, no, it was the same way when I saw this. I was like, you know, I looked at it and it's like, oh, yep, that's Naruto. Those are his colors. You know, I can pick him out right away. I didn't even need to see the spiral on the back for that on the outfit, and I could just pick it out immediately too.
Yeah, the lines on the face too, like, are a nice touch.
Yep. And then looking at this one too, this also looks like another comfortable and relaxed outfit to wear. The kind of stuff that you would wear on the on your day off at a con or something like that.
Yeah, I also really like the accessory choice here too, because that's the first thing I thought when I saw the shoes.
Oh yes, good point.
In a lot of Lolita's sort of outfits, they're not always the most comfortable shoes. Either they're a heel or they have like really tight straps or something. Mm-hmm. And this looks like a really comfortable version of that. But it also really matches the kimono really nicely. Just the style of it, the just plain matte black, and the tights and the wig are also like a really similar nice touch, where the tights have a little bit of a texture to it that has those diagonal lines like the kimono does, but it's nothing that like would distract from the main piece of it. Yep. And also, this person clearly wanted long hair for this, but the color is a really nice choice. It really matches Naruto's hair color. And the long hair is always really nice to see with like the long sleeves. It's a nice compliment from one piece to the other.
It really is here, and it's especially noticeable here. And with all of that.
Yeah, this is also another one where like it looks like they're having a lot of fun, which I really like. Mm-hmm. Like some of these were clearly selfies and stuff. So
and that is also something I could picture the actual Naruto doing from the show and the manga, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, like very fun loving.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I really like this one. This is a lot of fun. We do not have social media for this person either, unfortunately.
Okay.
But I'm gonna love to see you at our events, especially stuff like the cafe and stuff that we normally have.
Yes.
I love like these people usually go to the cafe and stuff, and it's really nice to just sit around. Mm-hmm. It's a great place to meet people too. If you've never been to like a cafe or anything at a convention, it's just a really nice way to spot people across the room and be like, "Hey, I love that."
Exactly. Yeah. No, and this type of outfit, that's perfect for it too. Yeah.
This one was really interesting. I don't really know anything about Journey besides it being really pretty, but this is Kingfisher Cosplay as the Red Cloak Traveler from Journey.
Mm-hmm. This is also a game I have not played. I just have seen some trailers for it, and I know it's a very pretty game, and it's got a really nice soundtrack that goes with it. And that's about really all I know with the game. I do know the character is basically just that red triangle you're seeing there from the reference photo. It's a really simple silhouette. It's very iconic for the game, and as soon as you see that, along with the yellow accents at the ends of the dress and stuff, the robe, cloak thing?
Cloak?
Not sure. You can tell right away that this is from that video game if you're even remotely familiar with it.
Yeah, the shape was done really nicely, and I especially love the contrast of that with the piece that comes off of the back. Like, it looks a lot longer than it is in the game.
Yep.
But that's really nice to see, like, even just the way that it drapes around them standing there, or, like, you can tell that, like, if they were moving, or if they were on stage, something, it would be, like, a really nice dynamic thing to see.
Yeah, exactly, yep.
And the patterns are really, really intricately done. I really love this. You can tell that they did it by hand, and in that middle photo, you can kind of see on the inside of the cloak the stitching done for the applique. Applique is when you have the actual garment, and then on top of that you put more fabric and stitch it down in order to put that pattern on top. And that takes so much time and patience, and it's really, really impeccably done here.
Mm-hmm. No, I did really like that once I noticed what it was they were doing. And what also I really like is that because of how simple this design for the character is, there's not a lot you can do to make it pop, but it is very clean, and you paid attention to a lot of the details in the row itself. You know, you can tell, like, I don't know how well they measured it, but you can tell the proportions are fairly accurate to what the video game character is when they're putting the applique in and doing all the yellow and gold highlights and accents on there.
Yeah, And it doesn't really look like like a completely humanoid. Well, it's a humanoid, but it doesn't look like the character really has shoulders or anything.
No, it looks like they're mostly legs and a torso. So,
Yep.
and obviously that's hard to translate into real life without a lot of extra bits and pieces. But in general, I really do like this. And this is like such a simple but really fun costume, I think, too. It's one that you would definitely want to walk up to if you see it at a convention. You would want to walk up and see what they did, I think.
Yeah, I also really like the way they did the mask. Like, there's all this patterning and stuff that is like fun to look at, but I also really love the way that the mask was done. Like looking back and forth between the photos and the reference, it's just such a simple shape, but it's like really accurately pulled.
Yep.
And so even if you saw photos from like the shoulders up, it's something instantly recognizable.
Yeah.
And you can also see that they put the mesh in the eyes, which is like
also
a little bit difficult to see out of sometimes. So
yeah, I was also impressed
so much
by
respect.
that too. Yeah.
So yeah, there's just so much going on here that it's really impressive.
It really is. Yeah, and I like how simple the photos are too, because it really matches.
Oh yeah, being able to see on the white background the all of the patterning and stuff,
and the shape
really helps.
It's really nice, yeah.
This person is Kingfisher Cosplay on Instagram, exactly as it is written there, Kingfisher Cosplay. This is another really comfy, fun one. Like, this person looks like they're having so much fun doing this. This is Noah as Runa Yomozuki from Kakiguri, and the photography was done by Michelle Brown.
Yep. Yeah, like you said, this is a very comfy looking cosplay, and I have watched the show too, and what really stuck out was the facial expressions, because this character in the show is a little bit crazy.
Yeah, the show really has like all of those really pushing it.
out there facial expressions from a lot of the characters, you know, and that's I felt that like looking at that, it's like, oh, this is definitely this character from the show. I can tell, and it was a lot of fun for looking at that. But the rest of the outfit, like you said, it's a very comfortable looking outfit. It's just looks like a hoodie, basically, a zip-up hoodie, and not like skirt uniform, and it's just some good thing to relax in, honestly. So it's kind of nice too.
Yeah, this is really adorable and looks so comfy. I love the way that they chose to take the photos too, because you could sit in those poses and take the photos from any angle, really. But the way that they chose to do it from like the top down on that first photo is really nice and kind of weird. I really like the diagonal that it makes. It's a little bit more dynamic than if you did it from straight on, which is a really creative way to do it.
Yeah, no, the framing for that. And it also helps sell the facial expression too, I feel. Like the expression, the pose itself, you know, you get that feel at this, like, alright, she's got some kind of prank or something she managed to pull off, and she's just sitting there laughing.
Yeah. That really gets it across.
Yep.
I don't know, this was just a lot of fun. I feel like I should have more to say about it.
I do too.
I just like every piece of this.
Yeah, it's just overall a very fun cosplay as a whole. I mean, it's like I said, simple, but all the elements together work as a cosplay, and it does fit the character design, obviously. And it's a really neat interpretation too for that.
Yeah, I really love the way that all the photos are taken too. So that's just something I really want to say again, that this really captures her personality really well. It's just something so simple. We saw it with the Dorara once before.
Yep, we did.
Where even something just like the facial expression or whatever you're doing with your hands or something can really get across exactly what the character is, and that's all you need.
Exactly, like with the JoJo one. Yep.
Yeah, that too. I could have sworn we had a Instagram for this person.
Did. We'll look at your submission form again and double check.
Yeah.
This one.
We definitely had a social media for this one, but I don't see it on my list. So you're going to have to look out for our posts on social media and go look at these cosplays on our website once they are posted.
Yep.
So you can go follow this person. I thought we were going to go the entire time without seeing a Miku, and I was really disappointed about that.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Because there's so many Mikus to choose from.
There really is. There's really a lot of different designs for Miku, especially within the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, so this is Kamiku as Racing Miku 2019, the Vocaloid, and photography is by Kai Muhammad.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and like obviously this is Miku. For this, it's the racing version for it. I mean,
there's so many different promotions and songs and performances and stuff that there's so many things to choose from that I love to see which one that people like the most.
Yeah, and like you chose the 2019 racing version too, and I'm obviously not much of a fan of Miku, or I should say it's less. I really don't know a whole lot about Miku beyond what I see other people tell me or some pictures randomly on the internet. But just from this costume, I can tell it's a very streamlined look, as befitting the racing line, I guess, for that. And it's got a lot of nice soft pastel colors to it. Actually, in general, a lot of the Miku outfits are, but I feel like for some reason this is.
Yeah, it's a very sweet design.
Yeah.
It's definitely the colors and also like the little ruffles and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so the way that this is posed and stuff really matches this.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I especially like that one pose with like the reaching out sort of thing.
Yeah.
The way that the skirt is flowing and stuff, and the way you can kind of like see the drapery behind it. It's just really nice, and I feel like it really captures her personality of like the idol character, especially with like the reach thing. That's a thing that a lot of cosplayers do, no matter what the character, but it really especially fits Miku.
Yep, as an idol, and like, or even just as like a onstage performer, as a singer, you see them reach out to the audience, and that is exactly what they're doing right here in that photo, and it's really cool. Now, one thing that I do know that is always hard for Miku cosplayers is always getting the right wig color.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard to see. Blue is especially hard because on certain websites they might overexpose the photo or do a little bit of color correction.
Yep.
And it's such a specific like blue-green mix, but this one's really, really accurate.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that was one of the things that stuck out to me because as soon as I saw the hair, I mean, even before I saw the reference photo, I was just like, look at the hair. Oh, that's a Miku.
Yeah.
Just from that the wig color alone, and that was really good there.
It's also really, really hard to keep the pigtails.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as long as they are, they get tangled so easily, but these look so smooth.
Yeah.
Especially with the little ribbons and stuff, that's, like, terrifying to me, trying to keep that sort of thing together. Like, I'm clearly wearing something where it's supposed to be all messed up, so
it works in your favor. But yeah, for people who do the elaborate wig work and wear the really long wigs, I'm always impressed by the amount of effort and work they put into it, because it really shows off, and it's really tough to work with wigs, and it really shows in here. That's like a lot of effort was not just in choosing the wig, because you had to make sure you got the color right, but also just like getting the hang right so it fit with your poses and everything and didn't get in the way and tangled up. So
yeah, being able to maintain it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And there's even some where it's clearly behind their shoulders, like in that close-up too. So
Yeah,
they definitely made a conscious choice about the wig.
And how it draped and fit with the rest of the outfit too. Yeah. Yep. And one thing I did notice is like for the torso shots, like you can kind of see the details on the tube top there on the top for the logo there, and I thought that was actually kind of nice too.
Yeah, it's nice to have a couple photos where that's like really clear, because you can see in any other pose it kind of gets covered up a little bit naturally.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I like being able to see that in at least like one or two of the photos.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Same with having the hair behind the shoulders in that one photo. That's like the only place you can see that part. So
exactly.
It was really smart to do that with the close-up photo.
Right. Yeah. It was a nice call out there, a nice way of just like getting the focus on that photo and stuff like that. So really cool.
Yeah, thank you for bringing Amiku to our cosplay showcase.
We usually get some running around our conventions, so this is nice.
All right, and this person is Kamiku1, number 1, on Twitter.
Okay. I think that was the last one.
Yeah, that was our last one.
Cool.
So, I'm glad we were able to do this year, but it's so much fun being able to see these people just around the SAU, around the field house.
Yeah, or even during the contest itself.
Yeah, and even just being able to reach out to these people in person, like just running into someone in the crowd and like being able to be like, hey, I like your character. Oh, I like your character too. And
yeah.
just swapping social media handles is...
Exactly, just being able to see them and stuff. I mean, like, I'm not much for cosplaying during conventions, so I'm usually one of the people watchers, and I always like seeing what people make and stuff like that. So it was fun doing this.
Yeah, it's always lovely to hear about like why someone likes a character, like why they chose that character or that specific costume, or how they made something very specific. If you like ask them about that, it's just such an integral part of the convention to me to be able to meet all those people and mingle that way.
It really is, and part of Tora-Con also was built on the cosplay contest and cosplayers in general. So it's not being able to have it in person this year is actually kind of sad. So that's why I was really glad we were able to do this image submission thing, where we could just get people to randomly submit their cosplays, and have us show it off to all of you watching and just talk about it.
Yeah, it's always been incredibly central, so I'm glad we got to at least have like a little snippet of it this year.
Yeah, and I'm glad we had a wide variety of cosplayers submitting us photos, because most more elaborate ones, those were really nice, but the fact that we also had some very simple ones and comfy ones too, which is
that's
really
the fun of the range
nice.
of the convention too. Like even if you go to a contest sometimes, most of the people that are entering or are even in the walk-on category are at least somewhat showy or something. It's nice to be able to get the normal like con floor kind of spread of people.
Either that or on the last day of the convention, everybody always wants to wear a more relaxed outfit, so it's kind of nice to see that too.
Yeah, it's definitely like the Sunday afternoon vibe.
Yeah, before you go home and need to pack up and all that stuff. Lots of that here, which is why, like I said, I was really happy that we got the submissions we did and got to show them off for you guys. Like Sally said, we'll be posting these on our website along with social media information for those of the ones that we have. We'll be double checking the submission forms to make sure we didn't miss anybody, but if you did, for those of you watching who did submit photos and know you don't actually have,
if you have social media and we said we didn't have yours, or if it didn't work or something, feel free to reach out to us.
Yeah, and we'll get that fixed for you.
I can't see the chat or anything, so maybe someone said
maybe
something.
Somebody's already doing it, which would be nice. But it's definitely something we want to include so that we can make sure you get proper recognition for it. Because cosplay is really fun for people, but it's also a lot of work and it takes a lot of courage too.
It really does.
To get up there and dress up, because like I know growing up for myself. The only good time to wear a costume was during Halloween. Any other time to wear a costume was not good. A major no-no. So that's part of why I really like cosplays in general, and I give major props to the people who do dress up, not on Halloween, but on other days of the week and during cons, because it's meant to be fun, and you're supposed to have a good time while wearing it, and it's brave to go against what normal conventions tell you to do. At least for myself, that's how I was when I was growing up.
Yeah, I had a few more opportunities myself than that during like spirit weeks and stuff at school. But it's always really nice to be able to talk to these people. It's very special to be able to be a part of the passion that they put into this, no matter what kind of cosplay it is. Like closet cosplay, bought cosplay, constructed cosplay. There's so much thought and passion and love that has to be put into all of those.
Yeah.
That's what makes this special.
No, it really does. And
you can tell that everyone that submitted this today and every cosplayer you meet really loves the character that they're dressing up as.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and that's why I like supporting these people who do this, because I got that same support from my family growing up. Even though the environment I was growing up in said like costumes weren't really a thing you did outside of Halloween, but my family was supportive when I wanted to dress up. Once I started working on it more, I should say, and it's like, and that's why it's like I also want to support other people who are either just getting into it or have no idea what a costume is, and they want to make their own.
Yeah, sometimes it can be a little bit intimidating to see all the top people you see on Twitter and stuff, and even TikTok, are usually the people who have like a huge following or have a certain amount of money to spend on these things.
Yeah,
and so it's like the really like immaculate, like perfect representations of these characters that you usually see, but it's for everyone.
Yeah.
No matter how simple or complex the character is, no matter how simple or complex the costume you make is, like, it's just about the people that do it, the amount of love that they have for these properties.
No, exactly. It's like my outfit, for example. this is more or less kind of like a bed sheet and a witch's hat that I bought. So it's like, and I am the Black Mage from the original Final Fantasy. So it's like super simple and easy costume to make, and it's also very comfortable. It's just like, and I like it. It's just simple, easy outfit, and doesn't take much work, but it does take courage to wear this.
Yeah, this is a little bit more complicated, but it was definitely a passion project for me, because this is a character that it wasn't in the show that long, and the show isn't that popular anymore, so it's just, I really like this character, and I want to bring this character to everyone else, and it's just a lot of fun for me to do this and look at myself in the mirror and be like, hey, this is really fun and cool. I love the way that I look like dressed up like this.
Exactly. So for those of you watching who have never cosplayed before, don't be afraid to just come up with an idea and just start making something. Like, that's what I did here. Okay.
Yeah.
I could have gone super elaborate, but I chose not to when making this costume because that's what it is. I just did this for fun.
It's all about having fun.
And if you're not having fun with something like cosplay, with dressing up, really, that's what this is, then I don't know. It might not be something you should be doing in that case. I hate to say it.
Yeah, it's all about having fun. Like, you don't need to feel forced or something to do it at a convention just because others do it.
Exactly, yeah. But as long as whether you're actually making the cosplay and wearing it, or if you're just one of those people that like looking at cosplay, just remember, it's just like you're there to enjoy either getting dressed up in this really cool outfit or seeing people dressed up in the really cool outfit and seeing like a character you really know and love realized in the real world.
Yeah, do it your way. Don't feel pressured to not cosplay or to cosplay or to do it a different way than what you are doing. Like, just do it the way that you want to do it, whether it's like asking for a photo or dressing up in like a closet cosplay or doing something like really, really complicated. There's every way to do it is the right way.
Exactly, and we saw that in the submissions we had today.
Yeah, it was so widespread.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I want to thank everyone again that sent us some submissions for helping us put together a little bit of something related to our cosplay events every year.
Yeah, and it's like we said, we are disappointed we couldn't have an in-person event this year, but things being what they are, this is what we thought was the next best option. Because we still want to see awesome cosplays, and we also want to make sure we can share it with everybody else that's watching, and so you guys can also enjoy some really cool cosplays as well.
Yeah, so we hope you enjoyed it, and we hope to see you at all of our cosplay events next year and beyond.
Yep, in the future, whatever it may be. And we also hope you continue watching the rest of our stream, because we still got a lot of fun events going on left to show.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of the evening. The concert's coming up. We have the A&V contest going. We have guest games going. So stay tuned, and also check out the other channels, and come follow us on social media for the continuous follow-ups that we have.
Yeah, with all the latest updates and stuff.
We've got Instagram, we've got Twitter, we've got Facebook. So
Yeah.
we hope that you're most comfortable with one of those.
Some of those, I don't even know. I mean, I know we've got the Twitch channels now, but I don't know if those are open for direct messaging either. But
Yeah, so you can contact
Might
us
be,
directly
right?
on the other
Yeah,
ones,
yeah.
and you'll get all of the updates on those 3 channels.
Mhm.
So follow us on at least one of those.
yeah, so yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us, and enjoy the rest of Tora-Connect 2021.
Yeah, thank you for coming.